On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Oh, this Minnesota thing is busting wide open. In fact, it's bleeding into other states. Oh, this is going to be good. We've got a great year coming up, folks. 2026, it's going to be a year of transition. It's going to be a year of some bumps and hardships. And it's certainly going to be a year of some ginormous victories. We're going to be talking about a lot of the fraud. And a whole bunch of crap around fraud right now. Also, some other stuff, court cases, blah, blah, blah. Ukraine, Russia, that's an interesting one. We got a lot of things to talk about. Let's get the ball rolling. I also have an interview I just did. Really, really neat guy. His name is Peter Earl. He is a PhD, he's an MBA, all this stuff. This guy's got like all sorts of credentials. Talking about precious metals, talking about gold and all that stuff. It was very, very cool. I will probably get that uploaded today or tomorrow morning. I think you guys are going to actually dig it. Any of you guys, especially that are into the precious metals, any of you that are wondering about precious metals, it's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to check out. I asked him some good questions, some standard questions, and then I kind of had some cool little spins on them. And I actually think you'll appreciate what we did. It was really good. And Peter's awesome. He's going to be back on the show. He might become a fixture at some point. I like this guy. He's just cool. He's easy to talk to. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. We chatted a bit before we actually did the interview, and I think you guys will enjoy that. So that'll be coming up. Also, something else you might enjoy. Phil Collins posted this, which is arguably, he's in my top 3 of favorite musicians. So when I call him specifically Phil Collins, it includes Genesis, and certainly his solo Phil Collins stuff. I love everything about this guy. I even like the earlier Genesis with Peter Gabriel, some of it. And I certainly love the spin-offs like Mike and the Mechanics, which kind of gets into Friday's music show. By the way, we're doing a 4 for Friday. Going to be doing Mike and the Mechanics. Let's see if I can remember all these. Cutting Crew. We've got Mr. Mister, which actually is what inspired the whole thing. And that was incidentally kind of funny. Mr. Mister, solid 3 songs. I needed 4. I figured there'd be no problem getting a 4th song. I thought I had 4 songs to go. I'm like, I love Mr. Mister and like Kyrie and all that, right? And then I realized, well, crap, there's only like 3 songs they did that are really good. And so I had to listen to a bunch more. And I found one that was, worthy of making the show. It was interesting. I don't know. It was good. It was good. But I got one song in there that Mr. Mister, and it's questionable. Mike and the Mechanics. We've got, again, Cutting Crew. We've got, yikes. And we've also got, what's the 4th one? Matchbox 20. Got some really good stuff. It's going to be fun. 4 for Friday. Should be a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy it. Made me think of it because Mike Rutherford is from Mike and the Mechanics. He was Genesis guitarist. So that's kind of where that band sort of spun from. All said. Phil Collins says, if you hit play on In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, specifically, at 11:56 p.m. in 20 seconds. So 11:56:20 p.m. So basically 3 minutes, 40 seconds before New Year's Eve, the drum fill is going to welcome you into 2026. And I think that's that do-do, 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 do. So it should be bad ass. If you guys want to try that, certainly a good way to go. 11:56:20. Make sure you start it exactly then, and you shall be stoked. Probably would be a good way to put it. Got a couple interesting things about fraud just to get the ball rolling here that good old Elon Musk has put out for us. First off, my lower bound. Well, he's talking about how much fraud there is in the federal government. He says my lower bound guess for how much fraud there is nationally is around or roughly 20% of the federal budget, which would mean 1.5 trillion per year. It's probably much higher. Elon Musk also said, the fraud of your taxpayer money is happening nationwide and is liberally applied to attract illegal and some legal immigrants who will reliably vote Democrat. The more you look, the more you find. And you don't need to be a world-class detective to figure it out. This is brazen daylight robbery. It's out of control, for sure. Elon Musk shared John Lefevre. I don't know how to say that. It's Frenchy sounding. I just have some like weird thing in my brain that refuses to want to say French words properly unless I'm being super douchey. And then it just flows. I don't know what it is. You get in touch with that douchey gene inside yourself, and then all of a sudden you can speak like elegant français. Parlez-vous français? Yeah, whatever. But that's normally, like, I'm like, I don't know these foreign words. What is that, a croissant? John LaFleur said in a group chat with a bunch of smart, successful liberals who still don't understand how elections get stolen. So I wanted to share. In simple terms, this is what happens. 1, fill up the voter rolls with as many names as possible, including illegals, dead people, and residents who left the state. 2, legislate for unsolicited ballots to be automatically mailed out. 3, pay people per ballot. And, well, you end up exactly where we're at. Welcome to the 21st century. Or 22nd. Yeah, 21st century. Right? Isn't that where we are? 20, yeah. It's one higher than what we... Anyway, whatever. These are the world's 5 largest megacities. I don't know if you know this or not. Just quick on this. But Guangzhou is in China. 43 million people in one city. Holy crap. Jakarta has 40.5 million people. Dhaka, 37.5 million, or 37.3 million, sorry. Tokyo at 33.2, which is, wow, dang, pretty impressive. And then New Delhi, India, 31.4 million people. Now, I ended up looking something up, and I'm like, what does that compare to? What's the population of like New York or California? And oddly, the AI thingy that gives an answer was totally wrong. I don't know if they're going by the whole state or what, but they were wrong. New York, when I actually pulled some real numbers, not crap ones, New York is sitting at about 8.4 million people in the city of New York. When we think of the next smallest city on this list, of the top 5 anyway, 9.2 million in Tokyo. Population, that's growth, I'm sorry. Delhi's 31.4 million, my bad. And 8.4 million is New York. Not even close, thank God, I mean, really. But California's Los Angeles at 3.8 million. So again, not even remotely close. New York, hands down, biggest city population-wise. I think state-wise, California, I think, takes it. All that said, yeah, wow. Not even, thank God, we're not even in the running on those. I can only imagine how much worse that would make things, especially in New York. New York's already a freaking shithole. No offense, New Yorkers, but it is. It's the greatest place ever. I mean, I get it. I get why you love it. I mean, I do. There's a lot to be loved there. I just personally don't like it. It's just loud. It's huge. Crime like nobody. I think you used to put your trash bags on the side of the street, and everyone's wondering why there's so many rats. I'm like, well, let me give you one guess. Trump admin plans to make asylum seekers apply for refugee status or refuge in third world countries, or in a third country while they wait. So there's a number of countries that have agreed to this, and these countries are, well, in between for the most part, the ones that are trying to come here as asylum seekers and here. And in the other cases, it's like, no, you can't come here first. You can go to this other place first and wait and see. You'll be safe. Your asylum you'll be safe. So we've got Uganda, Honduras, and Ecuador. They're all like, yeah, we'll take them. That's cool. So yeah, there you go. You can go to those countries and hang out until we finally get around to processing your asylum questions and asylum seeking. Likely you won't ever get here. Well, we'll see what happens. A lot of fraud going on. I love this video. Of course, I've talked to Mike Lindell a lot. My numbers are slipping because I haven't been talking about MyPillow enough lately. MyPillow.com/OTF. You can check it out, especially their socks. Love their socks. I put them on this morning, and it's like, I love these damn socks. Great socks. MyPillow.com/OTF. All said, yeah, my numbers have been sucking lately. I don't think Mike wants to come on, but he came. He's running for the Minnesota governor, which, thank God, going against Tim Walz. Couldn't ask for a better time to go. This is obviously AI created, but freaking awesome. And it's him. Now, I mean, in reality, a real MyPillow would not, one, you wouldn't get bits coming out. Two, the way it's flimsy at the end, that's not a MyPillow. And second off, Mike Lindell is a wonderful, beautiful man that would most likely not smash him in the face with a pillow. Whatever the case is, funny as hell. I love it. Quality Lear, I was going to send it to MyPillow. I'm like, they've probably seen it already. And then I'm like, hell, they probably don't have Telegram, which is where I have it. So They didn't want to record it for him. It's like, anyway. Quality Leering Center is the first domino to fall as Somali-linked Minneapolis daycare scandal shocks the nation. Leering Center's been shut down, period. And this is what happens when journalism starts to change the world. Supposedly they were trying to bus in kids, which I thought was kind of funny. They were trying to bus them in. And then what they saw, I think 2018, there's a video that shows kids going and then immediately leaving. But all of a sudden they're busing people in and, like, I guess having them hang out inside for a while to make it look like they're actually bringing children to this facility now. But the Leering Center has been officially shut down, is no longer getting any sort of funding at all from the federal government, that's for sure. Whether or not Minnesota is still paying them money, we'll see. Minnesota House Fraud and Oversight Committee put this out. We had a hearing last February to expose daycare fraud and gave DHS a list of providers that got over $1 million in taxpayer funds in 2024 that had multiple license violations we had concerns about, including Quality Leering Center. They were number 35 on the list. We also got Tim Walz calls fraud investigation white supremacy. We shared this yesterday. I'm not going to play that one again. Kevin Bass posted this. When Elon Musk made a hand gesture in passion, they wrote hundreds of articles calling him racist. When Somalis steal billions of dollars, they call the people who are upset racist. It appears that the best way to loot the country is to call everyone racist. It works. So yeah, the investigations have been going around. We've been hearing about it, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the numbers. Governor Tim Walz, this is back in 2023, October. Minnesota's economy doesn't work without child care providers, so we're giving them a raise. Same basic time frame, same day actually. We're providing $316 million in direct funding to boost pay for child care providers, all while building a stronger child care system for middle-class families, where they just give it to people and don't require children to be a part of it. Yeah, thank you. What's this dude's name now? Shirley is his last name? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and I'm still going to call you Shirley. That's for damn sure. So yeah, Nick Shirley, there he is. Good guy. Like what he's doing. So again, a lot of crazy childcare stuff. They're going to be finding all sorts of connections. This stuff's going to be the way the money's funneling. Sweet Angel Childcare, Quality Learning Center, Inc. All this stuff is coming out. Creative Minds, Super Kids, Minnesota Child Care Center. There's a bunch of them. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Here is an individual talking about it. It says, let's just say there is a legit daycare operation over in Minnesota. Let's listen to this man. I think he's got some cool stuff to share with us. Check it out.
Let's just say that there is a legit daycare operation over in Minnesota. The rent that they're going to be paying is $2,000 to $3,000. Let's add on utilities, insurance, some maintenance costs, the cost of some materials. Let's say they add a company vehicle. We're at around maybe $6,000 for the month. And let's say they overstaff the place, because of course that's what they do. The total annual cost for an operation like that is going to be like maybe $300,000. And yet the government is cutting them a check for $1 million. Am I missing something here, or does the government really have their head shoved that far up their own ass?
I'm actually going to guess it's literally Tim Walz's head is shoved that far up his ass. That's why we call him retarded, though. It's not because, anything other than the fact that he's retarded. It's, he shoved his own head up his own ass. Like, you shouldn't do that. You might suffocate, first off. I mean, that's just dangerous. It's dangerous, folks. Don't do this at home. Tim Walz is a professional retard.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm getting real sick and tired of this little lady.
The idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly disgusting view, because this country is one for the many.
Let me tell you something, bitch. Nobody's saying America has to be one skin color, but every nation on earth has a culture worth protecting. Funny how preserving identity is beautiful everywhere else. Japan does it, Mexico does it, even Somalia does it. But when America does it, it's disgusting. This ain't about no race. You snuck into this country and now you're trying to erase standards in history. America is an idea. And ideas only survive when people are brave enough to stand up and defend it. If every nation deserves an identity, then why is America the exception? We're not just gonna let you come up in here and switch up the rules to benefit only your people. So listen up, America. I need you to listen good. We need to vote these people out of power. Because you see what they're starting to do. They're starting to talk mess. They think they're gonna take over something. Because when a country isn't allowed to remember who it is, that means someone else will decide for it. And history shows that never ends peacefully.
I love black cowboys. I
I don't know about the rest.
I don't know what it is, but they are just cool. They make it cool, you know. They take it to the next level. I like that. We got Minnesota Somali fraud extends into transportation companies. We're finding out now. It just gets worse.
Started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
And this is why we trust government so much. Yeah, no. Tim Walz's new taxpayer-funded 20 paid weeks off for family bonding for Somalis, illegals, etc. includes a workaround that doesn't require the person to have a job in order to collect the funds. Per Grage Dustin, I don't know if this video is his or not. Yeah, let's check this out. It might be worth it. If not, I'll edit it out.
Tim Walz has, your fantastic governor out there, the retard. We'll get into all the people driving by his house later. But right now, a little bit ago, it wasn't just announced, but this was recently announced, and it goes into effect in 3 days, that taxpayers, as if they don't give enough money to the Somalis in Minnesota at this point, will now be funding family and medical leave to give Somalis and other illegals up to 20 paid weeks off per year to bond with their child. Clip number 9, guys.
Insurance program for you that allows you again to take care of what you need to take care of without being forced to choose between your family, your bonding with your child, your own health, and your economic well-being. Because in Minnesota, you can do both, and we've proved that time and time again.
In Minnesota, you can do both. I mean, I guess on the plus side here, these Somalis don't work anyway, so I guess they don't need 20 paid weeks off per year. They get 52 paid weeks off per year.
I have really bad news for you, Nick.
Oh, no.
A state legislator, a former state legislator, had voiced to me that based on the way the law is written, you might not actually need a job to qualify for the program.
You've got to be kidding.
I know that sounds crazy. I can't tell you the exact details of that but this lawmaker who has been in there for well over a decade, who is now out at this point, but I'm going to actually go over with him a little bit more detail and him describe it to me. But he says the way the law is written, there is a workaround where you can collect this benefit without actually having a job.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be shocked by this. I should not be surprised. This is Tim Walz in Minnesota we're talking about. I should not be surprised by this development. But man, at what point do you say we need to? I'm sorry. Like you say, it's a beautiful state, man. But I'm tired of paying for it. Okay, I want the federal funds cut off to Minnesota until we get a handle on this. Are people in Minnesota, the Patriots that we were talking about earlier, are these people like? Are they ready to stand up against this guy and say, you know what, we've had enough, we're done, and we need to flip this government on its head out there?
Oh, no, completely. And honestly, and I can tell you, the White House has been doing polling on this state for the upcoming midterms, and they are very, very bullish on the opportunity in front of us. We have several great candidates across multiple different offices coming in here, and they believe this fraud issue is going to be a major wedge going into it because, quite frankly, in 2022, the last midterms, we came within 1 percentage point of winning 2 different offices, the AG's office as well as the state auditor, 2 offices that very in particular were heavy on this fraud issue last time, but it just didn't have this level of sunlight on it. If you add now this variable to it, I guarantee you we're going to win Attorney General. We have a very good bullish shot at the governor's office and even the U.S. Senate seat if we have a candidate here jumping in soon. We're very bullish on the opportunities and also the activist space. SEC, our convention here with the top delegates in the state, was completely packed and overflowing with alternates. I mean, people are fired up to fire Tim Walz, and yes, they are ready to stand up. There is no question about it.
I hope so, man. And it's like I was thinking this the other day, and I even got a little bit of commentary from it, the comment I brought up. But are we actually going to have people that are willing to do the right thing? That's so disappointing. Willing to do the right thing Do we have people that'll do that? Do we have people that can't be bought and paid for? Do we have people that aren't bribable, if you will? I think I would be. Again, I try to like come at this from a very, it's an interesting world that I stepped into a while back, and my life changed for the most part. Met some amazing people for sure, and that's been part of this too. And I would assume if things even got like crazier, I'd still be like, it's not really about the money. That really never has been, And that's the, I got to pay the bills, right? You got to have a business sense if you're going to try to do this full time. So, to say that, I'm not going to do commercials would be stupid. But at the same time, I find products that I really, really like. I find products that I think are going to change your lives. And I go with those, like I get hit up, I don't know, multiple products a week for sure. A lot of them are stupid as hell too. A lot of them is that free stuff. Yeah, I just try this out and do videos and show people, unpack it and stuff. I was like, nah, that's just, gross. I don't want a bunch of crap. I'm just going to have to throw it away, right? Like, let me open up this box of crap and tell you about it. Like, I'm the wrong person to do that. I will tell you it's a pile of crap. I can't imagine a company is going to be like, yeah, no, open her thing up. And one of them was NVIDIA or someone. One of the graphics card companies. I was like, ooh, that was tempting. But I don't do gaming stuff as much as I really wanted to take advantage of it. Whatever. Pam Bondi announces 60 people have been convicted of fraud so far. They've got a bunch of people in the arrest chain. I think 98 arrests thus far. Numbers are continuing, so they are looking into it. It is funny, though. You guys remember that dude that dressed up like a cop, which they now have a rule making that a felony. I believe it was them. And this, Tim Walz appointee was tied to killing the only lawmaker. So the guy that was dressing up in a mask, in a cop uniform that killed, I think, three politicians and almost got the fourth one. I feel like someone lived through that. Maybe it was the politician lived on the second attacking. But a dude that worked for Tim Walz dresses up, puts a mask on, goes and kills other politicians. Who are these other politicians? They were politicians that were literally working on stopping the fraud. Coincidentally, I'm sure, 100%. Coincidental. There's no way those are tied together. That would be so weird that something like that would happen when billions of dollars are at stake. Never would happen. I got a bridge to sell you. Yeah. No, it's from here to Hawaii. It's awesome. It's really nice. Get a bunch of you guys in on it. And if anybody out there reaches out to you and says, hey, this is Dan on the bridge building, I'm kidding. That was a joke. Tell those people to fuck off. Department of Human Services in Minnesota. They said the Minnesota Department of Human Services has seen an unprecedented high volume of traffic to this website, causing service disruptions and website outages. We are actively working on this issue. This message will be removed when it is resolved. Or essentially when you all forget about the insane corruption that this surely you can't be serious individuals actually brought forward. Yeah. I will call you Shirley. Any alien convicted of an offense involving fraud or deceit in which the loss exceeds $10,000 has committed an aggravated felony. 8 U.S.C. Section 1101, subsection A43M, I guess, if it matters, if we want to get down to the nitty-gritty. A false statement to the U.S. government involving a loss exceeding $10,000. Aggravated felony. Conspiracy to commit such an offense. Aggravated felony. If the alien is here illegally, deportation. If lawfully present, LPR, or refugee, deportation. Even certain naturalized citizens, if specific conditions are met, can be denaturalized and deported. Yeah. Our citizenship is a big deal. And those of us that are citizens get raped on a regular basis, and we love it. Those of you that are becoming citizens, you got a high standard of rape waiting for you. I sort of mean that tongue-in-cheek. There should be a significant number of deportations in the not-too-distant future. I think a lot of us are going to expect that. Gene Hamilton was saying that in reference to Pam Bondi's, Nick Shirley's work has helped show America the scale of fraud in Tim Walz's America. Again, I wonder how much of this is Nick finding it versus how much of this is someone nudging Nick. I got nudged at one point in my professional career. I've been nudged a few times, frankly, but in ways that literally like changed my life. It's just weird how sometimes it happens. You got to be open to it. It's weird. The opportunity. I literally didn't want to do it at first, and then I'm like, it makes sense, whatever. And that changed my life. And I don't want to be specific, but it changed my life. Changed my life. Crazy. Ohio attorney Mehek Cook confirms massive fraud in Ohio. Another hotbed for Somalis. I'm going to play this because she's smoking hot, and she's telling us important stuff, but she's smoking hot.
So these individuals tried to report the fraud that was happening in Ohio, and then eventually came to me to say that we're watching providers rubber stamp paperwork for home health. So in Ohio, and there's many states like this, Pennsylvania and other states too, where you can go in and you can say my aging parent needs a home health care and I want to provide it. So the state will, as long as the doctor has approved it, continue to pay you. It could be for 10 hours, 12 hours, up to 24 when it's critical care. So you could sit at home without caring for an elderly parent who really doesn't need it, make about $75,000 to $90,000 a year. Now you add two parents, that's $180,000. Now you add your in-laws, $250,000. You continue to add this and you wonder, what are the services being provided? So a lot of providers came and said, fraud is occurring because we said we weren't going to rubber stamp this paperwork, so they went to other providers. Their home healthcare network saying, we'll make it worth your while. Well, sounds like a kickback to me. So we really need to investigate the Medicaid system and how much it's increased since the Somalian population came and who really needs critical care, because that's meant for our disabled, our elderly, and people who really need it, not to just live off our system. And that's what's happening in Ohio. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's despicable, but authorities are now looking at it from the Attorney General's office to the U.S. Attorney's office. I flagged them all because this is Ohio tax dollars and we have to take it seriously. I'm tired of people telling me, well, this is the way it's always been. It's subjective and we can't really check. No, you can. Audit America, audit Ohio now. And I'm pushing for that in every single state.
I mean,
so
smoking hot in the sense that she's hot, but I don't like her hair. I don't like the fact she's got an eye watch on, and she looks like she's really high maintenance. I don't know. That's what I read, but she looks good. Damn. You know, you have her on your arm, you're like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. Whatever the case is. Yeah, I don't like the eye watch. I don't. And any of you guys are like, what, Samsung watch? No. Don't wear a tracking device on your body. First off, keep that shit off your body. It's one thing to have a phone nearby. It's another thing to have it on your body. That's crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, it's so nice. It helps me. It tells me when to stand up. Learn to stand up on your own, I'm telling you. If you need a stupid watch, be like, oh, you got to stand up. Oh, shit, it's time to stand up. My accountant tells me that. He tells me to stand up, and he smiles, and he's like, and I do. I'll go walk and get a cup of coffee. I'm like, you are a retard. I mean, I'm glad he's my accountant. He's an excellent accountant, but he's retarded, too. I mean, he probably knows Tim Waltz. He's not watching my show, I don't think, and if he does, I'm going to have to have this conversation with him. Be like, I was joking, man. Carlene Johnson put this out. Just went to 4 Somali-run home daycare centers in Federal Way. That's a place in Washington State. I've actually lived there before. That was up in Washington. That's received taxpayer subsidies, just like Nick Shirley found in Minnesota. There were no children and no one willing to chat with this reporter. They threatened me with police at the Washington, D.C., YF, whoever that is. Don't care, you fucker. What does it stand for? I don't know. It can't be that, but that works. Anyway, they want information forwarded. We then find out from Inland Auditing Media. I went to 12 today, and I was almost attacked by a gang in a Seattle Housing Authority neighborhood. 11 absolutely had no children or indication of business. Store releasing tomorrow on the Inland Auditing Media channel on YouTube. Many people are getting involved. I just love this. I love seeing people getting involved because getting involved means you are doing something. The doing is important. It's important to be in moon energy where you're like, oh, I'm receiving, I'm taking in energy. Excellent. But you also have to do, which is sun energy for those of you that are. Doing is important. And if you're not doing something, consuming information is not doing anything. Just so you guys know. Any of you out there that's like, but I learn a lot of stuff. That's not doing anything. That's receiving. You're receiving. Great. What are you doing? What outward push are you doing? You writing a Substack? You talking to the lady at the mailbox? I don't know. Are you doing something outward? That's my point. Outward. That's doing. Watching content and even commenting is not doing shit. No offense. Not trying to be a dick. You're learning. That's important. That's a big part of what you need to do as a person. But what outward push are you doing? That is very important. We got Latvian nationals now. Fuck, man. I didn't even know, like, how many Latvians can there actually be? It's the first time I've heard of this. Apparently here illegally, arrested for alleged $14 million gift card fraud. And again, maybe it's just a couple of Latvians giving everybody a bad name, though Somalis are trying to say that. But it's like, no, there's like a bunch. Every place you exist, there's weird Somali frauds. So, yeah, you got a bad taint, and you all ain't fixing it internally. So, gonna say most Somalians seem to be bad. I'm not saying do anything mean to them. We'll get them out of here legally. Be nice people. And any of you Somalis that are nice, just, wear hats and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if the scarf thing's going to be a good look for a little while. I'm just saying. Who knows? HUD uncovers billions in questionable payments under the Biden administration. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development report for fiscal year 2025 identified $5.8 billion in questionable rental assistance payments. You're getting the point, I hope. All these different little areas that the governments pay for are being abused. Every single effing one of them are being abused. That money's being funneled back to Democratic candidates. Not only do we not have a fair election, but we've got unfair money flowing back to deep state candidates. We have been taken over for a very long time. We finally are able to stop it. That is where we are at today. First time ever in our history, John F. Kennedy took a bullet in the middle of the street by somebody. I don't know, he got shot multiple times, frankly, but his driver, there's the grassy knoll, the person that probably did the shot that Oswald actually probably couldn't possibly make, even if he wanted, but from maybe the next door window or next building, there was something thing. I don't remember exactly what the specs were on that. There's a whole bunch of crap. The fact that he wasn't supposed to be on that street. Anyway, don't get me started. Y'all probably followed that up more recently than I have. It's been a long time since I've dug into a lot of that stuff. And it was, like I said, the Oliver Stone movie played a huge part in me just being like, these fucking bastards are lying to us all over the place. Good God. And so I went into 9/11 knowing it was bullshit. Right out of the bat. Down. Oh, this is bullshit. There's no way. No way. And then seeing the building collapse on itself, and I've watched so many implosions. Oh, my God, I'm so sidetracked right now, it doesn't even matter. Well, it's the same thing. Deep state bastards. Fraud is how they pay for it. We're shutting it down. It's getting exposed. Exposing paid protesters. This is kind of interesting. They're making a lot of money, and this is worth hearing. Check this out.
If you get closer, I have it on camera. I'm coming right back to Officer Bird right here, okay? I'm exposing one paid protester for every 100 followers that I get. This is Nate Knopf. He gets paid between $80,000 to $110,000 to do this exact thing. He identifies as a they, them, but unfortunately, we only saw one Nate. He was actually my handler at the Labor Day protest. And eventually, that led us to a situation with the cops, but we'll get to that in a second. Nate is a prominent member with the Democrat Socialist of America Atlanta chapter. Here he is meeting with a Cuban ambassador, enjoying a beer while laughing with the ambassador. He's an Atlanta delegate to the National DSA Convention where they endorsed Zohran Mamdani, once a proud DSA member. In fact, most of Mamdani's team is made up of DSA members like Nate. Nate is the chapter's recording secretary and electoral committee co-chair. He helped elect Gabriel Sanchez as the first socialist in Georgia, and now he's organizing voter outreach to elect Kelsey Bond as the first socialist on Atlanta City's council, paving the way to replicate Mamdani's mayoral run in Atlanta. So what was Nate's job at the protests in Atlanta that I attended? To be with me the entire time time in order to make sure no protester engaged with me because I'm a right-winger. Here he is constantly trying to prevent my cameraman from filming. I have a handler at a protest. That's kind of ridiculous. That's okay. Are you going to now speak on her behalf? I'm still allowed to engage if I want to, right? You know that, right? Nate wouldn't tell us how much he gets paid, but we know he does. As a top operative for the DSA, he is unionized under CWA, Washington-Baltimore News Guild, where they pay organizers like Nate between $80,000 to $110,000 a year. In fact, here's a job listing for a professional protester where they'll pay you between $80,000 to $103,000 to organize and represent. This position also comes with various benefits like health and paid days off. For the confrontation with the cops, make sure to follow for part 2.
It hurts me how he says Zohran. My goodness, it's like I had a friend named Bita. She was Persian. She insisted you pronounce it Bita. It's B-I-T-A. We'd all be like, hey, what's up, Bita? She'd be like, that's not how you say my name. I'm like, huh? Bita. B-I-T-A. Bita. She's like, no, it's Bita. It's like, really? Do I got to say it like that? Yes. Fudge. Yeah, I didn't like that. My filter worked for a second. There was a whole bunch of shit I was going to say. Thank God. Top Senate races to watch in 2026. There's a bunch of them. Nebraska, Texas, Michigan, Ohio, Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Maine. Oh, God, I hope we can get Collins out of there. I don't know if Alaska's in there. It should be. Yeah, we got to get rid of, the Senate's the biggest problem. Poly Market's saying we got a strong chance of keeping it. I think so many things are going to change between now and then. It's you guys aren't even going to recognize the playing field. So let's not get hung up on, what's going to happen in the election. We are so far away from that. Give me 4 months. Give me 3 months at least. Give me 4 months. They might start talking about it all over the place. Oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not going to matter. Remember, people's attention spans are 4 seconds long. I usually say 10, 14, the different numbers I play around with. Doesn't matter. I'm making these numbers up on the fly. 78% of all statistics are made up on the spot? Yes, it's true. Anyways, Trump says he's thinking about suing Jerome Powell for being a piece of trash.
Think of it. The Federal Reserve building, 2 buildings there, they don't know what they're doing. They're way over budget. I mean, this was built during the Biden administration, and I rode by it the other day, and it's headed by the head of the Federal Reserve. Too late, too late, Powell. Too late because he's always too late with interest rates, except before the election. He was too early because that would have helped. That was supposed to help get her elected. It had no impact. We won all 7 swing states. But no. We're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence. Because think of it, these aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. He said $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more than $4 billion. $4 billion. It's the highest price of construction. Again, Democrats, highest price of construction per square foot in the history of the world. There's never been. Gorgeous monuments are built for a much smaller price. So we're thinking about bringing a gross incompetence, what's called gross incompetence lawsuit. It's gross incompetence against Powell. And it was his baby. And the guy's just incompetent. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. He's just a very incompetent man. But we're going to probably bring a lawsuit against him.
How many Q posts do you think covered that, like little swipe he did on the side of his mouth? Oh, Trump, it is this time he did it. No, don't know. $4 billion, the most expensive construction project ever in the history ever. Like, if we tried to build the Great Pyramids today, we could probably do it for less than $4 billion. And this dude's just doing enhancements. And Trump's an expert at that. Expert. One of the best in the world. If not the. I think that's going far, but whatever. Probably true. So gold and silver have rebounded a bit today. Again, it's bouncy. Bouncy house right now. Silver's up 10% today. So it's back up $7, made up for some of the crazy drop that happened recently. Again, this is the deep state's so pissed right now. Gold's down to 43.77. It ain't going to stay there. It was up over 45. Way over. Almost 46. Silver was, I think, up to 84-ish. It's up to 77 right now. And that's going to continue to go back up. It'll possibly break 80. They want it under 80 for the year. Badly. And it might manage that. It's not going to stay there. So again, guys, if you're in their system, you're losing buying power. When you count inflation into it, essentially the easy way to do the calculation, if you want, is look at inflation, look at the price of gold over the last year. That is a serious direct correlation of inflation. If gold goes up 50%, that means you lost 50% of buying power, basically, from where you were at the start of the year. You lost a bunch of buying power. Not 50%. It's probably a factor, but whatever that dollar amount is, that's the equivalent of buying power you lost. That's literally what that means. Silver has outperformed the stock market by far, which means from a purchasing power / buying power standpoint, you have lost money. Precious metals, primarily gold, just straight up protects it. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Protects it. Bad idea if the economy's going good. Get the hell out after we switch to an asset-backed currency, which is coming. It is. Federal Reserve note's going down. It's going down. And that's what we're experiencing right now. Now, this is going to affect people with pensions. This is going to affect people that have retirement. And there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, but the government's going to make good on that, right? No, probably not totally. It'll be pennies on the dollar. It'll be pennies on the dollar. Or at least it'll feel like that. You can control this. You can be in front of this. You can actually do something about this. If you've got a 401k or an IRA, if you've got a pension, I'm sorry. Your pension is controlled by the state, by the whoever. It is impossible for you to get access to that until they decide it's okay for you to get that from them. You can control it if you've got a 401k or an IRA. And this is what you should do. Divest. Or I would actually move a bunch, frankly. That's just the way, unless you need it, unless you're going to be drawn off it. I don't know, there's things to consider, okay? That's why you want to get the playbook. You want to learn about this. There are decisions to make, and it depends where you are on the cycle of this game. If you've got time to continue to invest, dude, pull everything out. And then continue to put money into it, especially if you've got an employer matching you. Dude, keep doing it. Get as much or all out now. I don't care if it's 10,000. I don't care if it's 100,000. I don't care if it's $1 million. Get it all out. You're still young. This is the time. You're going to protect so much of that buying power. You're going to be so stoked. You're going to be like, Dan, where can I meet you? I want to buy you a beer. I'd probably want to do that. I love beer. It's delicious. Don't be stuck in their system. If you're somebody that's going to have to draw off it soon, divest some of it out, protect it. I don't know, maybe just a little bit, 25%. Maybe you got $1 million, maybe you drop 100K, 100,000, right? Pull that out. You still got 900,000 that you can pull out in your regular system. I don't think that's a good idea still, frankly, because you can also draw from an IRA, precious metals backed IRA. A lot of things to consider, but as you're losing buying power every day in the stock market, you're gaining every day in the precious metals market. Now, there's a transference, and we really want to get to the new backed currency. That's really what it's about. If you can get that far, that's going to be key. You're going to have huge gains. If you can't, you can start pulling already. I mean, again, the way things are moving, you're going to be a lot better off, all things considered. If you stay in the system, that is a lot of bubbles going on over there, and you're losing buying power daily, it's not a smart place to stay. It's just not. And cash is certainly not either, necessarily. I mean, you can certainly buy precious metals. All I'm going to say is there's a lot of things that my good friends at Goldco are going to help you do. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Tax-free, penalty-free. You move it sideways as much of that money as you can. Tax-free, penalty-free. That's key. A lot of people are like, oh, you take it, you got to have it yourself. Yeah, you do that, you get raped. You're going to get raped. It's bad advice. Tax-free, penalty-free, move it sideways. Put it in a trust. It's physical metals. It's yours. You can ask for it later. Trust me. Precious metals, physical metals, yours. They're in a trust. It's yours. It's literally like a address where it exists. It's probably part of the number that you'll get. It's physical. It's yours. There's no one else that's got it. Tax-free, penalty-free, moving it over sideways. They're going to offer up to 10% free silver. So you got $100,000 you're moving over, tax-free, penalty-free. You're going to get $10,000 of free silver. They can even send that to you. It's money. It's worth value. Or you can have that invested as well and have it hang out there. It's up to you how you want to do that. But that's physical metal as well. Up to 10% free. DRSlikesgold.com, DRSlikesgold.com. If you put in your 4 data points and hit the send me the thing, it's going to give you like 20 minutes if you want to call. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you do, you're going to be rewarded for the effort. Up to, it's a 1/2 ounce Ronald Reagan coin. I believe they give it pretty much to everyone that calls. I don't know for sure. Like if you're someone that's called before, right? Like there's rules. If you're abusing the system, you're probably going to get caught. They're not just giving away coins for the hell of it. I mean, you got to have legitimate, and you got to be someone that's new, but they're just saying thank you. And right now it's worth, $77 an ounce. So just on dollar amounts, it's $37? $38.50? So $38.50 just in coin value. 0.99% pure coin. It's made by the U.S. Mint. It's got Ronald Reagan on the front. It's collectors, so it's even more. Just saying. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out. Tax-free, penalty-free. DRSlikesgold.com. Free 10% silver. That's multiplying right now. DRSlikesgold.com. Protect your wealth. Subsidies for renewables account for almost all energy sector federal support. It's really funny. 90% of the total federal renewable energy support, or energy support in general, across this nation is subsidies for this green crap. If we got rid of all that waste, fraud, and abuse and actually put that towards, hopefully fusion, but nuclear and even coal-fired for that matter if we had to, or firing up some of them plants again. I mean, again, it's not the best way to go, but we are pretty clean and cheap when it comes to coal. Michael Tracy posted this. DOJ claims January 6th pipe bomber has confessed, says he went to D.C. that day in support of Trump. This is now a Trump thing, of course. Became convinced something was wrong with the 2020 election from browsing YouTube and Reddit. So let's see. We should censor. This guy convinced something was wrong. He's a Trump fan. He resented that election fraud believers were being called conspiracy theorists and Nazis. So has now lumped all of us into the camp of people that would put pipe bombs. You see how this has been played? This dude is so either A, J6, or B, which more likely, heavy intelligence. CIA, very intelligence. Dude got away with it. They didn't look it up for any reason at all. This ain't some schmo. He's like, he's some dude lived in his dad's basement, worked for his company, his bail bond company, or whatever the hell it was. No, bullshit. Not even close. Fuck that. It's not even true. No. This dude's intelligence, and he's got backing, and he's phrasing everything intentionally. There's like 4 things in this one statement. It's bullshit. Judge orders the release of secret Tyler Robinson hearing in Charlie Kirk assassination case. So this guy had some sealed, interview that was done, audio or something to that effect. I think they got the transcripts. And they were sealed. It's being unsealed. It's going to be shared with everybody. Everybody gets to see and hear what this dude said. Maybe he's going to blame Trump. Maybe he's going to say it was because the election was a fraud. Maybe he's going to... You watch. Don't be surprised, guys. This is a game. This is a game. What we're being presented isn't necessarily correct. It's not. It's confusing. I know. How do you know what's what? You don't. That's the best part. Better than Folgers in your cup. That's just what popped into my head. Best part of waking up. Folgers in your cup. Folgers is nasty, so no, but cool commercial. Judge rules Trump admin can share illegal migrant Medicaid data with ICE. There was like 6 data points or something. Social Security's number is not one of them, which is a little bit of a bummer. But address, citizenship, immigration status, phone number, date of birth, and Medicaid ID. Now, that Medicaid ID is key. So that's fine. IDs are always keys. Always. They're unique IDs. They may be used multiple times in all sorts of different other databases, but they are unique IDs in the database that exist. So it will be very fun to see how many Medicaid IDs are utilized multiple times. And I'd be curious to see who those go to, because I'm sure we've got data that pins that to a social security number and some other data. And that's what's happening, and that's what's never happened before. And again, I'm a data guy. I love, or at least I was. I love data. And it's all about linking the data. You need linkable points. These are the types of things you need. And Social Security, addresses can be. Phone numbers are really good. Email addresses are really good, because you can't have multiple people using the exact same email address. You can have the same email address used in multiple places, but maybe multiple people are logging into it. You do have stuff like that. But again, there's easy things you can look into. There's certain keys. If certain things that should be unique are popping up multiple times, you have a red flag. It's very easy to find these things. I've written so many queries, can't even tell you, where I've looked for where the count's more than one, because there should only be one record. You just group on certain things. It's easy. You can write these queries all day, and every time you run it, you're like, yeah, awesome, because I found something. And then you change something, and you grab another column that you group on, and you run the same thing. I just found some more. So there's dudes that are just doing, and they're just finding stuff all. It's fun, frankly. So Medicaid IDs is solid. That's a solid for sure. No question about it. We're making strides, folks. U.S. Supreme Court to decide Louisiana redistricting dispute with national implications. There's, I guess, a couple different redistricting things. This has to do with whether race is involved, whether race isn't involved in the districting. This actually had another group of people that weren't specifically the black population, and they were kind of gotten shut out. I think it's probably the Latino group, if not, but they tend to be more conservative in general. And now they feel like they're not being represented fairly. So there's a lot of weirdness that's happening with all this. Both of these are being combined together. Supreme Court's supposed to rule on it. We'll follow up more as we get closer to that day. I guess we got a big win for rural America. Trump admin has announced $50 billion in funding for rural health care. I almost skipped this, but it was pretty good health news. And so check this out, because I know a lot of my population, my audience out there has got some health stuff going on. Hope you guys are getting healthier. That's the plan. That's what we're trying to do. But anyways, all right. I was afraid it was going to crash my computer. Apparently, we're not going to be able to play that. Yeah, so Dr. Oz says that the Trump administration announced $50 billion in funding for rural health care America. It's not going to let me play it, so whatever. Where do microplastics come from? Anyways, it's something that's talked a lot about. And again, one thing that really, just one example. Now, microplastics happen because there's plastics all over the place. They're used all over the place. They're used, everywhere. And so they end up in our clothes. They end up in everywhere. But one thing that really dawned on me with it was this. And we have this for laundry detergent. We have this for our dishes, right? We have these little gel things, right? Little plastic-coated things that have our soaps in them, right? And they say, well, they dissolve. Right. What do they dissolve on? Especially the ones you're using for your food. They dissolve, and then your dishwasher sprinkling that all over your dishes, and then that gets baked on at some point. Those plastics don't totally drain. So the ones in our clothes, people are using those Tide Pods. You guys remember that? People eating them and stuff. Stupid. It's microplastics. It's plastic. So don't use this kind of stuff, is my point. Use Cascade. Cascade's great. I use Cascade. I use this. I use the liquid gel, whatever, which is still, there's probably something wrong with it, but whatever. Way the hell better than the pods. And I don't use the powder because the powder just doesn't really work right. And nowadays, you can't even use it. So, yeah. Don't use the pods. Whatever you do. That would be my big takeaway. That'll help your plastic situation. Another thing that'll help your plastic situation, twc.health/OTF. Plas Detox targets microplastics. A lot of people are having this problem. Got a lot of this crap in you. You don't want this stuff in you. You just don't. I mean, it's worse. It's not as maybe as bad as like, say, heavy metals, but there's so much of this crap, and it doesn't really leave your body easily. Plastitox is helping people do that. It's one of the other cool products, twc.health/OTF. Not super expensive either. 60 vegetarian capsules, 1 dietary supplement, right? So, I think you probably take 2 a day. Usually a lot of this stuff is a month at a time. By the way, everything that I do that has the ability to subscribe, check into subscriptions. If you're interested in the product, even if you cancel at some point, just saying, wink, wink. Even if you cancel, get the first order as a subscription. A lot of times you get free shipping. A lot of times you're getting a 10%. Oftentimes it's kind of the common, normal number, 10% off. More, possibly. And free shipping sometimes. Just do subscription and save the money and cancel later. Yeah, it's annoying, but everything about it is a better idea. So, yeah, Plastitox, get rid of that. Get that stuff out of you. They've got a lot of things, too. They got the Spike Detox, get rid of that spike cell. If you rolled up your sleeve or lived with someone that did, probably a good idea. They've got all sorts of longevity, hearth health, a lot of good stuff. They've also got beef boxes, which are fantastic, like literally steaks. They send them to you like frozen. It's pretty cool. Dry ice, the whole 9 yards. They got jerky, protein sticks, a lot of really, really good stuff from that standpoint, which is weird, kind of, but it's not. It's all about healthy food, healthy home. They've got doctor memberships you can get, or if you want to telemed, and they think they call it, talk to a doctor. They've got free RX stuff to talk about. These guys are all about like saving you that pain in the ass, and in a lot of cases, doing it way cheaper than what you get stuck having to do when you go down to the hospital or whatever. Ivermectin collection is something I always have to mention. They've just got amazing products. The mebendazole ivermectin, the parasite cleanse. Oh Lord, this thing is super cool. In fact, I believe I still need to take mine for today. This is amazing. I've noticed all sorts of things happen with my body. It's going to be unique for all of us. I know someone that has rheumatoid arthritis, or had. I don't know. It's significantly improved. I hadn't heard whether it's come back yet. It's been a little while. It's been 3 weeks-ish. Maybe he's just, busy. It happens. But this is actually huge for rheumatoid arthritis. There's a lot of weird things going on in our bodies that we don't fully understand. So the parasite cleanse is huge. Just ivermectin in general you should have as stuff in case there's some sort of flu. Now, I do recommend the contagion kit because it's got antibiotic. It's got all sorts of other stuff, not just ivermectin. It's got hydroxychloroquine. It's got another antiviral, and it's got the zithromycin, right? So, if you're somebody that's like, flu can get you, I'd go the contagion kit. If you're somebody that's like young and flus don't really mess with you that much, I'd get the ivermectin. You'd be amazed. One, you can just kind of do your own ivermectin treatments. It's not going to kill everything like the parasite cleanse, but it'll do a lot of things. Also, if you do get a virus, you'll notice that goes away very quickly. Also, and I don't know if this is permanent yet. I'm still kind of wondering. But since I started any of the ivermectin stuff, I'll tell you this. I have not gotten a cold sore ever since. I used to. And usually just talking about them or thinking about them would make it happen. And I don't know. I've talked about this a couple times, and I'm still tripping on it. And I wonder. Again, I got a thing right here. Abreva. Love this stuff. Haven't touched it in forever. Why is that? It's a virus, if you guys know anything about cold sores. And then it makes you wonder, what other viruses might this help with? Just throwing some thoughts out there, guys. Some of us have maybe made choices that caused some problems. Well, I'm telling you, I haven't gotten a cold sore in a while. Something to think about. Ivermectin's a trippy thing. I use some HCQ too. I don't know if it was that, but I'm reasonably sure the ivermectin's the same. It's going to work. They got a cream too. If you got any sort of skin cancers and weird stuff like that, it's a 1% ivermectin cream that is making huge helps with people. I think people are also seeing it with dermatitis, rosacea. Also, I think it's with... drawing a blank on the other one, but yeah, a lot of those skin stuff, people are noticing ivermectin's helping in a big way. So a lot of things to consider. Great products. Just go to TWC, the wellness company, twc.health/OTF, twc.health/OTF. So many products. You can do it by goal. You can do it by emergency kit, by collections, by wellness, like whatever. Just get into the section, start looking. They've got all sorts of stuff. You're going to be amazed. It's an incredible site for health. twc.health/OTF. Use that coupon code OTF. Help the channel, help yourself save money, and subscribe and get even better stuff. Do that everywhere too. All the different places I have anything going on. If you subscribe, you're going to save. You're going to get some benefits. Big time. U.S. Southcom kills 2 male narco-terrorists in the Eastern Pacific. So this is over on the Colombia side, one would assume. I don't know if maybe it got through Panama or something weird. I don't know. Whatever the case is, they smoked a couple male narco-terrorists that were transporting drugs. Not cool. CIA apparently were the ones that conducted this drone strike on Venezuelan port facility. I don't know if the pictures we saw the other day were actually of the problem. Again, we haven't seen anything more come through. Could have been, I guess, but hard to say. It was port facility. It sounds like they smoked where the docks were, where a lot of they were offloading, onloading. There's probably some sort of building, some sort of strike. It was meant to be a very specific, like, yeah, we just want you to know we know what you're doing. We're watching you constantly. And, blowing you up, frankly. That's what we're doing. Trump signals support for further strikes on Iran if this nuclear threat is actually persisting. So there was a discussion. He actually said it. He basically said, look, if they're actually doing the missile program and or nukes, he's like, for sure, we're going to hit them immediately. If they're making the missile program, yeah, we're going to hit them. Like, it's basically like, yeah, we'll do this. Now, again, Israel's trying to get, Trump to do what they want him to do. They're giving him the Israel prize. I guess we can play this. It's kind of retarded a little. I think this is Israel playing their games because they're trying to get the allowance to make matters possibly worse. Again, Trump is playing this like Benjamin Netanyahu's a great guy. I love him. You guys should, definitely not try to impeach him or whatever. Like, stop it. But he's playing a game, guys. He's playing a game. And you got to play it this way. You got to play to the public. You can't play the truth. You got to play the game. Multi-level chess. This is all about optics. This is all about the public facing. And not everything Trump is going to say is going to be 100% honest. It's going to be accurate in a way, shape, or form. Again, it's words. It's just the way it is. You don't have to like it, but it is how it's playing out, right? So Israel's doing what Israel's doing, trying to get more money, trying to get more access to the AI with Musk. A lot of weird stuff's going on while not Netanyahu's here.
You've been a great friend, and I've been a great friend to you and to Israel, and it's been my honor. And the award that I was given was really surprising and very much appreciated.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions to the surprise of people, and then they figure out, oh, well, maybe, he was right after all. So we decided to break a convention too, or create a new one, and that is to award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli, and we're going to award it this year to President Trump. This was announced formally over lunch by our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize. It's going to be awarded to President Donald J. Trump for his tremendous contributions to Israel and the Jewish people. I think it's such a fitting thing, and it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel in that occasion on our Independence Day. But I have to say that this reflects the overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate what you've done to help Israel and to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization. So, again, that's an expression of thanks and appreciation.
Thank you, baby, very much. That really is a great honor.
Yeah, baby. He's saying baby, of course, but it sounds like baby. Netanyahu, there's nobody else that could do the war stuff the way he could, I don't think. Now, does that make it right? No. Does that make it wrong? I don't know. A lot of people make up their minds. A lot of people have their minds made up. This is one thing that I have a really, really hard time with. A lot of people have their minds made up. And so it doesn't matter what happens from that point forward. They always revert back to, remember that time 12 years ago when you were stupid? Yeah, but I learned from that moment. You jumped off a roof into a pool and broke your leg? Yes. And you notice how I've never done that since? Remember how you did that? It is arguably one of the most annoying human traits that I've noticed. It's hard to say. It's one of. Bugs the shit out of me. So many people cannot get out of their own way. Right, wrong, and different. Do I know better? No. I keep my mind open as best I can, though. I don't trust Benjamin Netanyahu or Bibi at all. But we're in weird times. Trump's being oddly friendly to him. It's like, all right, something's going on here. I don't know what it is. Got my hunches, got my feelings. I share enough random crap without proof. It's okay. So we'll see what's supposed to happen. Of course, the Q posts save Israel for last. That's always on the back of the mind, too. Have every Q post been perfect yet? No. We'll see, though. All right? One of the big ones is the storm has arrived, or storm is upon us, that Trump's supposed to tweet. I mean, that should happen. I think if you ask any Q person, 99% of them are going to be like, yeah, that'll definitely happen. And maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. It's one of the things that's funny about 5D chess. You don't know exactly what they're going to do. I've been reading The Law of War, by the way. I'm about halfway through. Good book. It's very short, too. It's kind of cool. There's like little sections, little beep, 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 beep. It's easy to read. But it is, it's basic kind of common sense, but it's well written. Sun Tzu did a good job on that. The English translation's funny. There's some places where you're like, huh? That's a weird word. But, yeah, for the most part, it's pretty cool. Something you might want to check out if you guys are interested in that kind of crud. Turkey's Erdogan condemns Israel's recognition of Somaliland as an illegal act aimed at destabilizing the entire Horn of Africa. It is interesting that Israel did this. Now, again, what is going on? Israel does seem to be destabilizing. They're doing attacks in Lebanon, doing attacks in Syria, right? Right, wrong, and different. Maybe they're taking out deep state. Don't know for sure. I hope. But of course, there's a side that's like, oh, Israel's the worst, so they're totally just being dicks. Maybe. And then there's the other side that's like, you know, Israel's chosen people and they're defending their, right? All right, maybe. I still feel like it's usually in the middle somewhere. I almost never believe one side or the other. They're almost always wrong. So, yeah, what's happening? I don't know. Turkey is kind of a fun little way to look at it. Something to keep in mind. Again, we'll see. Trump says not the time to attack Putin's house. Glad he stopped the tomahawks. He actually said that. It's pretty funny. Putin, he basically said, wow, I can't believe Zelensky attacked one of your homes. That's fucked up, right? Angry to learn about it. And he says, this is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. You can't do it. I learned about it from Putin. I'm very angry about it. You're saying maybe the attack didn't take place, I guess, but Putin told me it did. It better not have happened. We need peace. And he also even mentioned at one point where he's like, good thing we didn't give you the tomahawks because you would have used those to blow up his house. Now, the CIA put out some information saying, oh, this wasn't Ukraine. This was actually Russia doing this because they're trying to destabilize the Ukrainian peace. Or it's somebody within the Ukrainian government that's trying to destabilize Zelensky. All right, that's the CIA, so that's bullshit. That's what the CIA was trying to do, was destabilize this whole process. Putin and Trump are on the same page. Putin and Trump are talking. Putin and Trump aren't going to fall for the bullshit that the deep state's going to do. Zelensky's saying Russia's going to have to give us money for rebuilding. I love this. This is some of my favorite shit. The dude that lost the war is like, this is what you will do for me. And they're like, didn't we just beat your ass? Yes. And this is what you will do for me. Do I need to beat your ass again? I don't know. I don't think so. That's not what I want. I want you to give me a bunch of money for beating my ass, and then rebuild my country for me, like pay for the doctor bills for beating my ass. Not normally how it goes, is it? No. I mean, you got a really, really sweetheart of an individual that just beats your ass if that's what they're doing. If they're driving you to the hospital. I believe there's a Reacher episode where he did something to that effect. You know, I need you to call the cops. Oh, no. It might have been the new Roadhouse, which is surprisingly good, by the way. I don't know who that dude is. Like an MMA fighter guy. That was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. Considering they, redid a movie that I very much like. The original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, who, I don't know, he was a mean dancer, but he knew martial arts and shit. He was like all out there doing Tai Chi and shit. And he's like, what the? He's fighting a dragon, people. Relax. Give him a second. Crazy. Love it. Oh, did we really skip past everything? Was that it? I feel like we skipped past some stuff. Yeah, we did. What the hell, Dan? All right, let's see. China, unleashes hail, a live fire, and intense large-scale military drills near Taiwan. We talked about it. They're boom, 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 blowing up fish and shit, and having some really cool costumes. What is up with these costumes? Why would you do that? Is it a flak thing, maybe? Guys in the military, does that look thick enough? It could be Kevlar. Like, stupid. That's what it looks. But it does look like it's intended to protect their vital parts in case their program blows up. I don't know what the hell's going on there. One of their crazy-ass bombers. It looks like they stole that design from Russia. So, yeah, China's trying to be all super tough. Act tough when you're weak. Act weak when you're tough. We just do little... You ever notice that? We just do a little pinpoint, like, and this little hole in the ground happens, and then nobody says anything. We're just like, yeah, and act strong when you're weak, right? Like, or act weak when you're strong. Like, we're not even bragging about it. We're just doing it. Making it happen. It's definitely some interesting stuff that happens. Mel Gibson and his wife, I guess, Rosalind Ross, will be separating after 9 years. When you understand that she's only 35 years old, that really puts things in perspective. Mel Gibson's 69, and of course, arguably one of the greatest actors of all time, even though that Lethal Weapon episode where he shoots the happy face in the shooting gallery, one of the all-time greatest scenes, and then watching it now as someone that shoots guns and watching him blink every time he shoots, it's like, man, you're not Riggs. Riggs wouldn't blink. Riggs could literally shoot a gun probably right past his face and not blink. I mean, like, so whatever. It hurts. It hurts a little. Gibson 69, Ross 35. They're ending their relationship. It's sad, but they're going to do what they can for the kids. And she's, hot as hell. And he was stoked, I'm sure. And, I bet it just doesn't work because you're stupid far apart in the years. 30 years apart? 34 years apart? That's a lot. What would you do today? Well, so I started talking, and Jimmy and Jen broke up. Can you believe that? I can't believe they broke up. And you're like, oh, man. Really? Yeah, that sucks. George Clooney, his wife, Anal, and their 8-year-old twins obtained French citizenship per legal documents. Really? It's not anal? Oh, Amal. Look like two hens. Anyway, George Clooney and his wife, Anal. I guess they're now French citizenships. Yeah, they're now French citizens. It's anal. I don't care what they say. Whatever. Shh. Anyway, all said. They're French now. Go figure. He'll still do movies if you like them. I mean, I like the Ocean's movies. They're actually pretty good. ChatGPT creator seeks safety chief to prepare for potential rogue AI. We're all going to die. Yep. All going to die. Apparently. AI is going to kill us first. But if not, you'll just die because you're old. That happens. It's pretty normal. Happens every day. They're going to have this person. They're going to give them $555,000 and equity. That's an interesting dollar amount. Right? So 555s change typically. Or it's a sardine company if you're Filipino. Any of the Filipinos out there will appreciate the fact that I'm calling out 555, as my girlfriend calls it. Pipe. Video games that might be fun for you. I don't know. I figure I got a few gamers out there. I have to. I'm certainly into that. That's a bunch of you that probably are. A bunch of these games just look stupid to me. It made me sad. Animal Crossings, really? That's the number one. That's probably cool. Some of you are going to tell me it's great. Hogwarts, which I'm not into at all. Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, Call of Duty, I'd be there. Call of Duty 2, all right, I'd be there also. This is Vanguard, I guess, versus Black Ops Cold War. Both of those are awesome, I guess. I haven't played either. I get a bunch of Call of Duty games. I love them. They're fun as hell. Black Myth. I don't know what that is. Pokemon. No Chance in Hell. Phasmophobia. Yeah. It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right. A Legend of Zelda. Not a chance in hell. I was a little too old when Zelda came out. I really didn't. That game was kind of lame to me. Helldivers 2. Monster Hunter Rise. Nintendo Switch Sports. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Pokemon again, whatever, brilliant. Diamond, if you have kids, maybe this is fun. Assassin's Creed, I kind of enjoy. Valhalla, that should be fun. I actually thought that was a specific Indian thing. Come to find out, it's an assassin or warrior's heaven, if you will, or whatever their equivalent would be. I like Assassin's Creed. I got one of their games. It's pretty fun. I might check that one out. God of War, and we got Baldur's Gate, and what was it, Pal World? I don't know what that is. Whatever, in case you guys are looking for games. Some of us are trying to kill time. Some of us are wasting plenty of it, just doing what we do. Either way the case is, I hope you guys are being involved. And I hope you are doing something. I love you guys. It's you that's making the difference. I'm trying also, but it's you that makes the difference. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.